Thanks, Senator Coons and Senator Carper, for kind introductions. We're going to come back to this panel of circuit court nominees, and I'll start with Judge Lee. Well, it's been over 10 years since you told the story. It was at your swearing in at the district court level. It's stuck with me all these years. I'm sure I couldn't recount it as well as you could in a few minutes. Tell us about the can of beans.
Thank you, Senator. The can of beans story starts when I was in kindergarten, and I didn't know any English at the time. I went to kindergarten, and one day in art class, the teacher told all of us to bring from home a can of beans. I rushed home and told my mother, "Mom, I need a can of beans to take to school for art class." And my mother, who is much wiser than me, looked at me and said, "Really? A can of beans?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Absolutely." And so she gave me a can of beans to take to school. The next day, when art class came around, I took out my backpack and proudly took out the can of beans and put it on the desk. And I looked around, and everyone else had brought cereal boxes. And so I was mortified because I thought to myself, my gosh, how could I have gotten it so wrong? The teacher really wanted us to bring cereal boxes for the art project. But I think that that's one of the instances early in my life that is a testament to the generosity of the people that I've met throughout my life and my career, because my teacher had some extra cereal boxes. And so she gave that to me, and I don't remember what I made, but I really enjoyed the project, and I felt so much more comfortable.
I remember that immigrant story because you've done so many wonderful things with your life ever since. Judge Mendoza, I'm sure you have a similar story to tell.
Thank you, Senator Durbin. You know, growing up as a farm worker, we were often going from place to place. And in high school, I remember that we needed to hurry up and finish up the work that day so that we could make it by about 11:30. That was the cutoff, and we wouldn't get credit for the day unless we finished the work. So we were finishing the asparagus, which we were doing that day, and we'd run home, which was on the farm, quickly change, put on our school clothes, and get to school by that 11:30 cutoff. Well, sometimes we didn't make it, and sometimes we got there about 5 minutes late. And I remember, though, the counselors and the teachers and the admissions folks, and they would let us in and give us credit for the day. And that was so important because we wouldn't have otherwise been able to graduate. And I remember those individuals. Connie Flores is her name, that I remember making sure that I got to my class. So it's the people like that that I've seen throughout my life who have been incredibly supportive.
I could go through for each of you and recount what you've achieved as judges and the fact that you've sat on the circuit courts, which you aspire to now, already having opportunities to consider and rule on important cases. But the record speaks for itself, and I want to make sure that other senators, Senator Grassley in particular, have a chance to ask questions. Thank you for being here today, and thank you, families, for joining you. Senator Grassley.